first ever episode of the Hypermobile Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Dante Cantalupo. I'm here with,
Stassi Saris.
and today we're just going to be talking about training considerations as a hypermobile athlete. Both of us have a lot of different experiences with figuring out we're hypermobile later in life and how that sort of impacted our training and how we're going to train going forward. So do you want to just give it a quick intro background real quick?
Sure, yeah. So my name's Stassi. I'm 18 years old. I've been kickboxing for about 5 years, and I'm just recently finding out through an injury that I'm hypermobile, and it's kind of been, changing my mindset on my training and everything.
Yeah. So I have a pretty similar story to you where I was as a kid I would sort of roll my ankle a lot or like jam my fingers constantly doing playing basketball and volleyball. And
Hmm.
then for a long time it was like I thought I was unathletic, but I didn't realize it was just sort of due to the hypermobility and being not like doing enough stability training.
Yeah.
And then it was only after I was doing Olympic lifting for several years and I ended up developing left knee patellar tendinopathy. And
Hmm.
then from there, I ended up realizing my right ankle was messed up because I sprained it a lot as a kid due to the hypermobility. And
Yeah.
then after I got the right ankle surgery, and then that's when stuff started, the gears started turning. I was like, hold on, maybe I have this like hypermobility thing. So I guess we can just go into sort of early childhood. So was there like weird stuff you would do as a kid that
Yeah, for sure. So I would always just do this would be my go-to where I would just bend my
yeah.
wrist. Super weird. I would always put my arms like completely behind my head and stuff like that. And I remember the first memory is I caught a football and I caught it with just my like middle finger, kind of like that Odell Beckham kind of catch, and it
Oh
completely
yeah.
like pulled my finger completely back and kind of like sprained it. And after that, I thought it was because of the sprain, but I would always just go like this, and people would just be like, "Ew," and just like I really didn't even know at the
Oh,
time
so
that
you thought it was because you caught it and then you thought it
yeah.
wasn't like that before.
Exactly. I thought that's just
Yeah.
like how my middle finger was, and I thought it was just a little freaky thing from that. But I'm only just now realizing that that's the reason why, because
Yeah,
I
I
thought it
just
was just
remember
normal.
as a kid I can't really do it now as much.
Yeah.
Or now it sort of hurts, but as a kid I would pop the joint of my thumb out of
Hmm.
its socket all the time.
Yeah.
And I can also do the finger thing as well, just like
Yeah.
bend my fingers way back.
Yeah. I could
Yeah.
do
And
this with
then
my thumb.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the elbow, like the elbow hyperextension.
Hmm. Yeah. Weirdly, that's the one I don't have. I don't
Oh,
have
really?
the elbow extension. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird, but I can do this. My fingers,
Oh, yeah. Your fingers are like super
super
hypermobile. Yeah.
hypermobile. Yeah.
And then was it like, would you like sit with a weird posture or anything like that? Or was there stuff
I
like that?
definitely just felt like I was always like slouching. Just sitting was
Yeah.
always just
Yeah.
sitting in like just a chair like that was just always uncomfortable. Like I always would have to either shake my leg, put my legs twisted, very weird, like
Yeah.
put my knees up. Just like it was just very hard to just sit or stand in just a normal position as a kid and even now.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
always really liked sitting cross-legged as a kid
Yeah,
compared to
for
sitting in a
sure.
chair.
Hmm.
And it was really funny. I think this was like 2 years ago. I was in my like college gym warming up, and there was
Yeah.
just a dude I knew. He was like rugby player, like super jacked, like big dude. And he
Hmm.
was doing like the the hip 90-90s,
Yeah.
like the hip switches. And
Yeah.
he was like really struggling with them. And I
This
was
is
like, damn, bro,
easy.
you got I was like, damn, you gotta work on your this was before I knew I was figured out I was hypermobile. So I was like, damn. It
Hmm.
sounds painful. And he was
Yeah.
like, bro, you try to do it. And then I just like sat down and my hips just like went back and
Easily.
forth. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the same thing with the 90-90. And that's the weird thing. When I actually like slowed it down and focused on like feeling the muscle, it did
Oh
actually
yeah.
feel tight.
Yep.
But if I don't do that, it would just easily just I could just do it as fast as I
Yeah.
want.
Cause that's like we have like the it's like it goes into the passive versus active range of
exactly.
motion. It's like we have a lot more passive range of
Mhm.
motion.
We have to
And
like
then that's
actively think about feeling the muscle.
yeah, and I think it's so interesting how like we both sort of gravitated towards sports that have a super high mobility demand.
Yeah.
Like obviously with kickboxing, you got to have super mobile hips so you can like kick high and stuff. And then
Hmm.
with Olympic weightlifting, you have to like squat super low. You have to like
Hmm.
catch a snatch. You have
Yeah.
to have like your arms all the way back here, stuff like that. And then
So
like
like your shoulder
for a front
rotators
squat,
and hip
yeah, it has to be like
rotators,
your shoulder has to be super flexible.
super mobile and strong at the same
Yeah.
time.
I
Yeah.
guess that's something we'll probably get into when we talk about training, but it's like a
Hmm.
double-edged sword where we are super flexible, but like
Hmm.
since that's due to a sort of joint flexibility and not only a muscle flexibility, it's like it can lead to like increased injury risk if you're not training right,
Yeah,
as
for
we
sure.
both figured out from experience.
Hmm. Like it can look from the outside view as flexibility, but it's not really flexibility. It's just the fact
Yeah,
that the joint can go that far, so the muscle will follow, but it doesn't necessarily mean the muscle has that
yeah.
flexibility per se.
So, do you want to go over like how did you actually figure out when did the light bulb go off, so to say? Like, and you figured out, oh, I'm hypermobile, and
Mhm.
hypermobility is actually like a medical thing. I'm not just like flexible.
Yeah. So in about October 2025, I'll get more into the injury later, but that's when I had got my herniated disc injury, and it was just a lot of trial and error. And in December, I had went to a sport physical therapist, and they were feeling my hips, and they were just moving my hips so easily, and they're like, your hips are like extremely mobile. They even said your hips are hypermobile,
Yeah,
and that's when like the light bulb already kind of went off in my mind at that point. And then when I had went home that day, I just started researching about it, and everything just clicked on like my whole
yeah,
past athletic experience as a kid. Everything just kind of clicked at once, and I started looking more and more into it.
yeah. So I have kind of a funny story of how I figured out I was hypermobile. This
Hmm.
was basically at this point this was a few months after I got an ankle surgery. I was still rehabbing it,
Hmm.
and I actually went on a date with a girl who's hypermobile. And she was like walking with her hands like behind her back in a sort of weird
Yeah,
way with her shoulders like forward. I was like, oh, why are you walking like that?
yeah.
And then she was like, oh, I'm like my shoulder like dislocates easily.
Hmm.
And I was like, huh, I used to when I was a kid I could like I used to always like pop my thumb out of its socket. And
Yeah.
then she was like, oh yeah, you probably have it too. Because like also
Hmm.
like we're both sort of neurodivergent, and it's like if you're neurodivergent it's you have
It's
a
related.
it's related, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So it was like then it was like that day I went home and I started like Googling like crazy, like and I was like, oh shit, this explains like so much.
yeah,
Like this explains like why I kept like rolling my ankles and like jamming my fingers
yeah.
playing basketball as a kid. And it explains like there was like so many like there was like probably five or six things that I thought were unrelated were like
Yeah.
that basically all are brought together by and explained by being hypermobile. Like also another thing was in high school when I played lacrosse for like one season, I
Hmm.
had some knee pain, and it was like the athletic trainer said that my patella tracking is like loose or it's off,
Yeah,
where my patella like shifts left and right easily.
yeah.
And
I
another
definitely
thing
heard
is
the
like,
same.
yeah,
Yeah.
another thing is like I've always felt like I have like I thought I had flat feet, but it
Hmm.
really wasn't that my feet were flat. It's just that all the connective tissue is like looser. So
Hmm.
like it's not like my foot itself was deformed because I can
Yeah.
have an arch if I contract my foot. It's
Hmm.
just that it naturally can become like flat.
Yeah, and it was almost just always the feeling like before I even had any clue or was even thinking about it, just always the feeling in like my high school wrestling, like in like seventh and eighth grade when I was training some MMA, like just always the feeling of like something is different. And I just
Yeah.
couldn't ever put my like mind on it. But now it makes sense. I don't know if you had the same kind of feeling,
Yeah,
but
no, I always felt like it was just like something where like
something off or different.
yeah, something was off, but you couldn't really explain why. And it was actually like it turns out it's like just one thing causing
Yeah.
all of these different like odd
Hmm.
results.
Yeah. And now that we have the awareness of it, we can like,
Yeah.
you know, train it differently.
So let's talk about some sort of advantages and disadvantages of being hypermobile for sports.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about kickboxing?
Sure, yeah. So I would say obviously the biggest thing is just your hip mobility and your shoulder mobility and just where other people have to stretch for like an hour before. Even though I was stretching when I shouldn't be, I was easily just able to just get up and just like automatically throw those high kicks. Have just extreme mobility and yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest advantage. But I would definitely say there's more disadvantages because you can also like easily throw a kick, and if you don't throw it right, you can kind of like pop your knee out a little bit, pop your shoulder out too far, and just like the sheer fact that your muscles burn out a little bit faster than
Yeah,
other
because the
people.
muscle is like taking the job
It's taking the
that the
job.
ligaments normally do.
Yeah. So like once I would get extremely fatigued, my body, I could just feel my body just wanting to round and just like become
Yeah,
lazy instead of be strong. So I'd say that. Um, but with the awareness, I think I could make it more of an advantage over time.
yeah.
Yeah. But what
It's like
about
what's
yours?
yeah, I'd say the with like Olympic lifting, it is a big advantage in a lot of ways because just getting that the bar in this sort of front squat position, you have to
Yeah.
like get your shoulder in this really weird position.
Hmm.
And then also the wider you can hold the bar, it's like you have to press it like if you press with a narrow grip, there's like more distance versus if
Yeah.
you have a wide grip, you can kind of lock it out and it's like less
Like easier.
distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also like with a front squat or like overhead squats, these are all like super mobility demanding positions where it's like being
Hmm.
hypermobile helps, but it also is like you're at a higher risk of injury just if you like
Hmm.
don't have like body awareness and stuff and you're not aware that your like joints are in bad positions and then you end up getting injured.
Yeah. And I would say even another thing that came to mind is we would do sprints a couple
Yeah.
times throughout like my kickboxing, and it feels like I was able, with no sprint training, never did track or anything. I was always able to just put my feet and legs on just 100% blast and just be able to
Yeah.
go very fast. And I think that's because of the lengthening of the ligaments and stuff. Not
Oh
that
yeah.
it necessarily like felt good after, but like
Oh
I was able
yeah.
to, with no sprint training, able to just do that. So it's
Yeah.
almost like we're able to do stuff that other people have to like train for and stuff. But if we do that, we have the risk of like getting injured.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's what I would
I
say
wonder if
about
it's
that.
also like you can probably get a super steep like shin angle when you
Mhm.
start like push off
Yeah,
and then you can just like go horizontal like really quick.
exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah.
just like have a extremely like wide range in my
Yeah.
legs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like it's interestingly when I was doing sort of my initial research on hypermobility, one
Yeah.
like sport where it seems like being hypermobile is more talked about is actually baseball and like specifically
Hmm.
baseball pitching. Like I
Yeah.
remember when we talked off camera, we were like, yeah, we both saw the podcast. It was like what was it like specifically about like hypermobile pitchers and like how to
Yeah.
train them.
It was like it
Yeah.
was talking about like strength training, pitching, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like if you're hypermobile and your shoulder and elbow and wrist and everything are super loose because when
Mhm.
you're throwing a ball, you want that arm to be like a whip to
Yeah.
transfer the power. So like the more flexible it is, the more it can be like a whip.
Yeah. And that's what I'd say, like that's where the shoulder stability comes in because a whip
Yeah.
has the handle to be able to keep the whip. If it doesn't have that strong handle, it's just gonna
Yeah.
get whipped more
Yeah, exactly. So
like a
you're gonna whip your
slingshot.
you're gonna whip your arm out of the shoulder socket.
Exactly. So I remember even that video he was saying like he's been focused on putting his shoulder back before he
Yeah.
does his throw to kind of keep the stability,
Yeah.
which can even correlate into striking and kickboxing because
Oh yeah,
kind
that's
of the
true.
same thing on when you're
Yeah.
throwing a punch, you know. You want to have that stability.
Yeah. And this is like just kind of my theory, but I feel like being hypermobile could probably also be an advantage for a sport like basketball,
Yeah.
where there's a lot of like change of direction and cutting. Because if you look at a lot of like modern NBA players, they're not necessarily like the super good scorers. They're not necessarily the most like explode. They're not like jumping out of the gym every play or like just beating people on straight line speed. It's like they're like super shifty. They're able to get low and like change direction and drive at like different like angles to beat their
Yeah.
defender.
Mhm.
So
So
that's
you
I think
think,
like having super open hips, which being hypermobile definitely helps with. Like that could be an advantage.
yeah. It's weird. It's almost like you have to take your like overdrive body that can do these things like more easier and kind of like build it up where it's able to do it without breaking down is
Yeah,
almost like
exactly.
what it kind of seems like to
Well, it's
me.
like maybe it's like to go to the car analogy, it's like you already have like an engine
Hmm.
naturally, but you have like no brakes on the engine.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
you have like no, you're like driving a car with like no
Hmm.
safety equipment and you
Yeah.
need
Like if you
to build
crash,
the
you're gonna
safety
get
equipment.
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. Whereas like other people have that built-in like safety stuff, so they
Yeah,
kind of they have to build up more to get to that higher level in the sport or doing like the shifty kind of stuff. But they
yeah,
also have less risk of injury, so it's kind of like
yeah.
a separate thing,
Because I
like
guess
very different.
that's another thing to go into like sort of conventional like strength training and stuff. A lot
Hmm.
of like training I feel like is more focused on building the engine and not building like the brakes. Versus
Yeah,
like we kind of have the opposite need where we need to focus a lot more on building the brakes.
yeah, we have the engine naturally, so it's like
Yeah.
yeah, like even what I was saying about the sprint, I have the engine to be able to like to do that very fast, but I don't have the brakes and the actual like muscular stability to back that up.
Yeah.
Like if I
Yeah.
did the sprint training just as much, I would get hurt a lot quicker
Yeah.
if I didn't build the proper musculature.
Yeah. So let's we want to go into injuries.
Sure, yeah. So in about October, I got a herniated disc. So I was training a lot, training I had that like David Goggins kind of mindset
Yeah.
where I just couldn't stop like I literally would feel like a bitch if I didn't train every day. Like that was kind of the mindset I had. So one morning I felt like a pinch feeling in my back. It didn't really hurt too bad or anything, but I had kept training through it every day, going to sparring, going to like clinch training, like doing a lot of stuff. And one day I was at work and I just started getting like 10 out of 10 shocks of pain in my back. So I thought just, rest for a couple of days, but I started getting like nerve pain down my leg and in my toes. And it's just been pretty bad. But that's essentially what happened. And, now we're
And
here.
I remember off camera you were saying like you had always had like a little bit of like stuff going on with your back too, right? Like with wrestling as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, so I had wrestled my freshman year, and then about like after that season, I kind of had like a 2 month kind of weird acute back pain thing, and kind of ever since then, before the
Yeah.
injury, I had just like some like just a lot of tightness, just achiness. It would kind of go away, come back. It wasn't like horrible, like I was able to keep training, have fights and everything, but it was always like even just a fear around my low back, like I
Yeah.
almost felt like something was gonna happen in the future.
Yeah. So my full injury story is basically from during middle school, I sprained my right ankle probably like at least 4 times. And then at the time I thought it was like fully healed.
Yeah.
But what essentially happened that I didn't figure out till years later was the ligament had gotten like permanently stretched out. And
Mhm.
then my foot basically, the muscles in the foot basically just locked up to protect the ligament. And basically my foot was like constantly like kind of turned in because
Yeah.
anytime it would like be turned out, since that ligament was like loose, it would be like super easy to sprain it again. So I basically didn't play any sort of sports with cutting for the next few years. I did like rowing
Mhm.
for a few years, which is just straight like that's like zero cutting, zero load on the ligaments at all. So you're just like going back and forth and like pulling.
Yeah.
And then it was only when I got interested in like Olympic weightlifting and I started doing that and I realized there was still some like weird stuff going on. And then that leads to my patellar tendon injury, which I have a
Yeah.
very similar story to you, where it was like I had a program I was following 3 days a week for Olympic lifting that was actually like going well, but then I started having that like David Goggins mentality where I would
Yeah.
start like training by myself outside the program as well.
Yeah.
And then I like ignoring pain, like so much like stupid stuff now, like looking back on it, it's like
Yeah.
because
Like
my
just why?
left,
Why did I just
yeah,
rest and just
like the left knee,
save it
it
for
had like
another day?
already, it like had like started hurting, and I was still like jumping or like doing squats and stuff on it,
Yeah.
and then yeah, and then one time was like I went down for a front squat, and as I
Mhm.
was going up, it just like I felt like a weird sensation, and then it started hurting like the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was like maybe like a partial tear, but it was like I could still walk and like squat, but I
Mhm.
think it was probably like a micro tear, and now it's sort of healed on its
So
own.
was the tendon injury the same side as the ankle?
It was the opposite side.
Okay. But it could
So
have been
because I think
taking more load from like compensation.
yeah,
So
exactly. Because I
mhm.
also I got a DEXA scan last year, and my
Mhm.
left leg literally had more muscle than the right leg
Yeah.
because like I was just loading that left side way more from
Mhm.
the right ankle being unstable. And
Yeah.
then I ended up this took like years to figure out because I was just doing the normal patellar tendon rehab,
Mhm.
and it was like that sort of rehab is just like you gotta do isometrics to load the tendon, get it to like heal by itself, take collagen, all this stuff,
Yeah.
and then but it's like part of that rehab was also doing some like balance training, and then the
Yeah.
balance training got my ankle muscles stronger, and after the ankle muscles got stronger, my foot actually like unlocked and started wanting to move around, and that's when I
Yeah.
realized, wait, my right ankle like clicks, it pops, it feels
Mhm.
unstable, and then I ended up getting a surgery for it, and now I'm like almost back.
That's
And
good.
yeah, so it's like it's been like a 3 year, probably no, probably like a 5 year like process where I sort of had like no idea what was going on, and I only had like part of the picture until
Yeah.
now.
And I would say I haven't like I never really sprained it crazy as a kid, but I had
Yeah.
one instance where it was like a couple days before a fight, and I was doing some sprints, and I just completely like bent my right ankle as well,
Oh
like
yeah. Yep.
completely to the left, yeah, and it ever since then it kind of pops weird, like you're saying, like it can kind of easily roll, and
Yeah.
like I definitely need to start rehabbing that up as well.
Yeah. I think just like balance, any sort of like stability training is just huge for
Hmm.
us. It's like
Yeah,
it's mandatory. It's not like a lot of like non-hypermobile people will like, be like, oh, get strong first. Well, like
yeah,
getting strong is the main focus, but for us, I feel like it's like getting stable. You have to like get
yeah.
stable at the same time.
You have to like get stable before you get strong. Because
Yeah, exactly.
if you get strong or you get fast or you get really anything, it doesn't just have to be strength. If you like go for those kind of like outward um
Yeah,
kind of things first, you'll usually get hurt. So you kind of have to strengthen the things that people don't really see, but that will help you like get those things, I feel like.
yeah, exactly. It's like you're basically you need to train the muscles to
Mhm.
do the job that ligaments normally do.
Yeah. Any other like other little mini injuries that you've had that you think have been like related
Um,
or just like pains even?
I don't know. Obviously, the finger jamming, that was like because I played basketball, volleyball. That was like all.
Mhm.
It was like every time I played, I would like jam my finger going for like a
Yeah.
rebound or a steal or something.
Mhm.
And I think that's not only it wasn't only like a ligament thing, but it's also like the proprioception thing because we know like
Yeah.
the ligaments normally, if your ligaments are like stiff, they'll
Mhm.
like send signals back to your brain about like where your body is in space. Versus
Mhm.
if they're elastic, it's like your brain is kind of more confused about where your body is, so
Yeah.
it's like more like likely to jam. It's like the fingers are already more likely to jam from being like looser, and
Mhm.
then your brain is also confused about where the finger is, so it's more likely
Yeah.
to jam it. Well, like as a kid, I would jam my toe like constantly on like
Yeah.
on
Sprain
like
like
tables
your
and
pinky
chairs and
toe.
shit. Yeah, the
Yeah.
pinky. Yeah.
Even today, I freaking walked into the table on accident.
Oh,
Like,
really? Yeah.
yeah, like it just
Yeah,
happens.
or
And I would say,
like walking into walls, like shit like that.
yeah, literally. My mom does the same thing
Yeah.
because she's hypermobile as well.
Yep.
And I'd say on the proprioception thing, I definitely had a similar thing because I wrestled my freshman and sophomore year. And wrestling is like literally about knowing where your body
Yeah.
is and another person's body.
Yeah.
So it definitely had some weird stuff for that. And I remember because you get your neck kind of cranked on, and I
Oh,
would
yeah.
remember I would just wake up the next day and my neck would just be so tight.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah.
I would ask other people and they'd be like, "Yeah, my neck's tight and stuff," but I'm like, "Nah, this ain't the same.
That,
Like
yeah,
my
it
neck
feels,
is literally like I can't move it."
yeah. No, okay, that just reminded me because I did when I was like for the military we had to do like some like grappling and it's like
Yeah,
when during the I would like jam my toes doing jujitsu, which is like
yeah,
the most random thing. Or
mhm.
like just like if you someone's like has is trying to like choke you or something, it's like my neck would be like super locked up the next day.
Yeah, literally. And that's because it's our necks in the session are so loose, and like my
Yeah.
spine, my upper spine, the same thing. Like it's so loose that it's able to get in those weird positions where other people like wouldn't
Yeah,
even be able
exactly.
to.
And it's like, oh yeah, I remember now. Someone like was trying to do like arm bar me, and
Yeah,
I probably should have like tapped way earlier, but it was
they
like
couldn't get it on you.
he like couldn't get it. It was like
Yeah,
and then it was like all the way hyperextended and then I tapped.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like
I can't get wrist lock, bro. It's not possible.
yeah. Yeah, but now it's like I know like just to like tap if I'm doing like grappling, just like tap earlier to like not
Yeah.
because if you're in that sort of extreme position while someone is like putting
Mhm.
force on it, that's just like a recipe for injury.
Yeah, like you might not feel it in the moment, but like
Yeah.
if it happens a lot, you could start to like,
Yep.
injure that joint.
Yeah. Because it was like that armbar, like the next day, it felt kind of weird for like a little bit after that. But
Yeah.
then now it's like it's normal.
Mhm. And that's like the weird thing. Like even my ankle, when I roll it like that, it's not even like it necessarily hurt, or like it's
Yeah.
not even like you get pain. It's more like you get instability
Yeah.
with
You just it just gets more unstable.
yeah, which can lead to almost like other stuff happening. Like if
Yeah.
your ankle's unstable, your knee might get tweaked somehow.
Yeah. Like that's literally what happened with
Mhm.
me. Is
Yeah,
that ankle. And I think the problem, I think if I had only rolled it once, or like if I
yeah,
had rolled it once and then rehabbed it properly, or if I was
mhm,
like doing balance training or like taking collagen, like eating and
yeah,
stuff, it probably would have like snapped, like bounced back completely. But it's
mhm,
because I rolled it like 4 or 5 times,
yeah,
then it like since like our ligaments are more elastic, that
mhm,
elastic just like stretched out permanently and
yeah.
then they had to go like basically the surgery just like it like overlapped it and then like stitched it together.
Mhm. And that's why like the awareness is so important because like
Yeah.
if you had the
Yep.
awareness at the time, like
Yeah.
would
Then
have been
that
able.
this whole thing would not have happened if I had known.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about? I remember off camera you went you were like physical therapist for the rehab and
Yeah.
you went like super in depth like oh you have like your like left glute and like
Mhm.
spinal erector was like way more active and stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah, so I'm working with a dude on Instagram named Christian Virginia, and I've been doing his program. I was for like about 9 months. I was just pretty lost. I'm just trying many different things, and I just kind of got in his program, and it just really, really been helping. And yeah, so essentially, my my right erector and my right glute, and pretty much everything just on this right side after the injury was like shut off. So
Was
a
that the
lot of
side you were
my
having the nerve pain or was that the
yeah,
opposite?
on my right
Oh,
leg.
okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
But essentially, like before I started working with him, I was doing certain like core stuff, doing the back extension holds, but it was just reinforcing that imbalance because the left
Yeah.
side was way stronger. So for the first couple weeks, we just worked on just isolating that glute, isolating that right erector and my right oblique, and just doing that in a couple weeks, I had like a massive pain reduction because I
Hmm.
was kind of actively teaching my brain to like turn these muscles on,
Yeah.
and now I can
That's
start working them together.
that's so interesting because with my patellar tendon thing,
Hmm.
that was this kind of a similar thing where after I had the initial injury and it was
Yeah,
like hurting, it's like I found a program online from Instagram. It's called Jake Tura, who's like the tendon injury like guru.
yeah,
It's like you have to do like a leg extension isometric
hmm
to like teach the quad that like it's safe to like turn on and fire because that like
Right.
immediately after, like my quad on the left side was like so much weaker than the
Hmm.
right because like the pain basically just shut that quad off.
Yeah.
Versus like the isometric, starting with an isometric, just like lowers it, reduces the pain and like turns those muscles back on.
Hmm. And I think that's the thing with like hypermobility is our muscles either like lock up completely and get like so tight where you can feel it and it hurts,
Yeah,
or it just completely shuts off.
yeah,
So it's almost like you want to get it squeezing like yourself in a way, and that will
yeah.
like turn the
You
muscle
need to
on and
activate
tell
all
it
of
to
them.
relax.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense.
yeah. That's why like it's like flexing, not flexing, stretching is like
Mhm.
so counterproductive for us. It's like
Yeah.
it might like feel good, like oh yeah, I'm so flexible, I can stretch, but
Yeah.
then it's like making you more unstable,
Yeah.
which
It
leads to like more injuries.
it literally is like stretching a rubber band out like this, and then it feels unstable, so then it ends up just tightening back up
Yeah, yep,
anyways. Whereas another person's is very tight, so they keep stretching it and it gets more flexible. But for us,
yeah,
we're already able to do it. So I feel like stretching for us like literally makes you tighter,
yeah.
whereas
It's really
squeezing your muscle makes it looser.
yeah. It's
Quite
like
literally.
with my right ankle, the surgery ankle, it's like with the last bit of tightness, I
Hmm.
found like where I still can't get the knee like over the toe quite as much as the left side. It's really
Yeah.
weird. Like stretching it doesn't do anything, but then if I stand on my right leg and like
Hmm.
balance for like a few minutes and then I try to go put my knee drive my knee forward,
It's like able to
it's
do
like
it.
completely loose. It's like normal
Yeah.
after that. So it's like
Hmm.
really weird stuff like that where it's like the stability, it's like I think it's called neuromuscular guarding, where it's
Hmm.
like the brain like doesn't let the muscle like go like looser because
It's trying to
it's a
protect your
yeah,
joints.
exactly.
Hmm.
So it's like you have to make that muscle stronger and
Yeah.
build that stability so the body is like comfortable or the brain is comfortable letting it go further.
Yeah. And that's why, like, when I first got injured, I was stretching my back so much. Like,
Oh yeah.
even before the injury, I was stretching like 2 hours a day because in the martial arts community, like, that's just very
Yeah.
big. But even after I got injured, I was stretching a lot. And it's only when I started like strengthening it and squeezing it that it's like been able to relax and like feel a lot
Yeah.
better. So
'Cause like stretching, it does like work like temporarily where it's like, yeah, if you
it feels
stretch,
better.
but yeah, it'll feel better for a little bit, but then
Mhm.
like over the long run, it just like making things worse over time
Yeah.
because you're not building that stability.
Like it never clicked for me where like I'm doing, let's for instance, a hamstring stretch and I'm stretching it, it feels good, but then the next day I go to do that hamstring stretch again and now it's even tighter than the day
Yeah.
before. So it's like, that never really clicked for me. That doesn't really make sense. Where it would make sense for normal people because theirs would get looser over the
Yeah,
long run.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then how are you? So right now you're still
Still
mostly in
rehabbing,
rehab mode. Yeah.
essentially, yeah. So I'm on about week 8.
Yeah.
So I'm just still fixing those imbalances. I've got my right erector a lot stronger
Yeah.
compared to like it's about the same as my left. But I've had a pelvic imbalance that could have been from hypermobility as well,
Yeah.
where my right ilium was more forward. So it's really caused my right oblique to shut off a lot. So that's what the next kind of step has been getting
Yeah.
my right oblique kind of back on.
And then, so going forward, how do you think you're training now that you know you're hypermobile? How do you think you're going to train differently going forward?
Yeah, so definitely focusing on stability and strength work, the most important. Not stretching at all anymore, of course, and definitely like communicating with my coaches that like I have a different body
Yeah,
and that I need to train different because like in the martial arts community, especially like it's really focused on just like grinding, running a lot before training,
yeah,
doing a lot of like body weight burnout exercises,
yeah. It's like
whereas
people are
like
still, it's like old school, like type of
yeah.
training.
Whereas like I feel like I need to separate my skills training from my strength training, do my strength training kind of on my own and my
Yeah,
conditioning, and then when I'm in the gym doing my kickboxing, focus on my like technique and stuff like
yeah,
that. So I'd say that's kind of what my mindset is on like getting back.
yeah. I definitely. The first thing I did when I figured out I was hypermobile
Yeah.
was I stopped like doing stretching at all before training, or
Hmm.
I stopped doing any sort of passive stretch.
Yeah, I did
Like
the
if
same thing.
the only if I do any sort of like stretching type movement, it has to be the muscle has to be like actively firing
Yeah.
because passive stretching it just causes more instability. And now
Hmm.
like to warm up, I'll do a lot of like stability exercises to warm up. Like I'll do
Yeah.
like bear crawls or like single leg stands, like stuff like that, where it's like activating the muscles to get them to
Yeah.
fire
Warming
together.
them. Yeah. And like, for instance, like the pigeon stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you just go into it passively, that'd be bad for us because it's just gonna go
Yeah.
straight to like the hip socket. But
It's
if you
also
actively
like
like squeeze
because
your
our
glute,
like their spine is also so flexible. Like you can
yeah,
kind of just compensate with like
hmm,
the pigeon stretch and like have it go into the lower back and like
yeah.
just like twist the back as well.
But for that one, instead of going into that 100%, I'll like squeeze my glute and like hold myself up almost like hold my
Yeah.
upper
Yep.
body up, and it's basically like an 80% stretch, but with like a squeeze, and that one like feels a lot better now because it's going to the muscle instead of
Yeah.
the hip socket. Because for other people, that stretch would go to the muscle, but for us,
Yeah.
it just skips right past the muscle because it has the range.
Yeah. Because otherwise, for other people, it's like if you have like a rubber band attached to like a thick like rope and
Yeah.
you stretch both of them, like the
Hmm.
rope is like solid, so the rubber band is being stretched. But
Yeah.
if you have like two rubber bands tied together and you stretch them, then both of the rubber bands are getting stretched.
Yeah.
So
Literally.
it's like you have to yeah, it's like I remember you were telling me before it's like in, going for that like 90% range of motion
Yeah.
instead of going all the way to the end.
Oh yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, I talked about that last time. Like when I'm hitting the bag now, hitting pads, sparring, I'm not gonna throw it as far as I can. I'm gonna stop it at 90% so I can keep it muscular and
Yeah.
actually get the strength in my punch as well, and
Yeah,
not
and that's
injure
like
myself.
even like super like simple bodybuilding exercise like if you do a curl like
Hmm.
a preacher curl like instead of going all the way to the end like
Yeah,
this does like this position is like dangerous and it doesn't really do anything because the bicep is like turned off at this point. It's
it's
all
turned
just like
off.
it's all in the joint versus like if you just stop right here, the bicep is
Mhm.
still on and you're avoiding this like hyperextended position. And
Yeah,
then you go from there to stop right here.
yeah. Like for instance, like the butterfly stretch. I'm easily able to
Yeah. Oh
touch my
yeah.
knees fully to the ground,
Yeah, exactly.
but like it's not, the muscle might not even actually have that range. So instead of doing that now, I'll pick some dumbbells up and I'll squeeze it up and even do like an iso hold at the top,
Oh yeah,
and that
yeah.
will give me the squeeze will give me a lot more
I think
like
you'll get like more
looseness.
flexible after from
Yeah,
the
exactly.
squeeze.
Because
Yeah.
it still is technically a
Yeah.
flexibility exercise. So it's just like combining the flexibility with the strength gives us a lot more benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even for regular people, I would say as well.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like passive stretching in general is just like it's
Yeah.
not the best use of time probably.
Like there's a time and place, but definitely
Yeah.
for us, it's not good.
And it's like post after my ankle surgery, there was a while it's like my like hip flexor was tight for a bit,
Yeah.
but it's like instead of stretching it, I would just do like hip flexor lifts with like an ankle weight
Yeah.
and then that would like completely open it up.
Completely loosen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Even though like it doesn't it's like seems like it wouldn't make sense because you're like tightening the hip
Mhm.
flexor by like using it to like lift something up, but then that
Mhm.
actually like, loosens it.
But it's because it's like actively telling our brain
Yeah.
like, oh, you can relax this
Yeah.
muscle.
Yep.
Yeah. It's because our tightness is almost it's a different tightness than other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Like if we had their body, the tightness would probably feel completely different in a different way. But like
Yeah.
our tightness is because it's
It's
trying to
like
like stop
it's like
itself
not
from.
the muscle the muscle itself I feel like is not the tightness. It's like the tightness is like a nervous system
Yeah,
tightness.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Like
that's why
you
I kind
like
of
if you forced it to go through it, it would be able to do it if you force it to go past that
yeah.
tightness,
If you like
but it
force
would
it
hurt.
hard enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas for other people, that might actually like tear their
Yeah.
muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is slightly off topic, but that's why I kind of have beef with ATG because I did
Oh
like
yeah.
ATG training for a bit, and I was
Hmm.
doing like the weighted butterflies, like the ATG split squat and stuff. And
Yeah.
I think for hypermobile people, if you like, because at the time I also didn't know I was hypermobile, so I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I'm so good at ATG. I'm like
Hmm.
doing the split squat all the way, and like,
Yeah.
but it's like I wasn't building any stability, so
Hmm.
I just got kind of like more unstable.
Yeah. And it's not even necessarily that the ATG was bad. It's more just
It's
the
more, yeah,
it
not
was the
knowing that I was
awareness.
hypermobile. Yeah,
Yeah. Because I actually had a similar thing. I was just doing my back program and I had been on a trip, so I was just kind of keeping that up and I wasn't doing my hip stuff as much.
yeah,
This was like a couple weeks ago. And I did the ATG again, split squat, for the first time in a couple weeks. And I definitely went too far in my
yeah,
range. And it connects, the front side connects directly to your spine as well. So
yeah,
the
yeah.
next day when I woke up, I had like that neuromuscular guarding in my low
Oh
back
yeah, yeah,
again, where it was just extremely tight. And it's because I went too far and turned it
yeah,
into like a stretch instead of a active
yeah. It's like
strength.
it's just the key is like you need to be like super aware of like whether you're actually like firing your muscles or if you're just like
Yeah.
going like limp. It's like the
Hmm.
same. I guess like it's like the same thing with like if you've ever done like dips. It's like we have to be like super. Um, you have to like press your shoulder down and
Yeah.
forward super hard in a dip because if you just let
Hmm.
your shoulder like come up like that on a
Hmm.
dip,
It
that's
will
like
just,
yeah, it's like all in the joint.
or even something very simple as literally a body weight glute bridge. If we don't focus on like pushing our feet into the floor and activating our glutes, you're just gonna like be raising your pelvis up
Yeah, yep,
instead of actually activating your glutes. So I feel like it's just for anything like sport related, strength training, really
yeah,
anything. We just have to have like extreme awareness of the actual
yeah,
like
yep.
muscles that we're using.
That's why I feel like any like the training where it's sort of unpredictable.
Yeah.
That's what I've been starting to do a lot of that recently because I think that will
Mhm.
like that kind of builds that awareness like because
Yeah.
it's like you have to be super aware and then it's like you don't have to be as aware when you're doing like a stable exercise if your brain
Mhm.
has experienced like an unstable exercise.
So it makes it like automatic when you transfer over
Yeah.
to like the sport. Yeah,
All right.
that
Do we
makes a
want
lot
to
of
talk
sense.
about so we talked about training.
Yeah.
Do we want to go into some of the mental stuff? 'Cause I know off camera we also talk. It's like I think being hypermobile. Well, like we know being hypermobile is sort of correlated with being neurodivergent, and it's so weird how we like had some like really weird similarities with how we like think and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like for instance, the analogies. Like
Yeah,
I've always been a person that I think of analogies for everything. And like I'll be explaining an analogy to someone about something literally random. And they'll
yeah,
just
and
be
they're
like,
like,
what the hell is this guy talking
yeah, they'll be
about?
like, this doesn't make any sense.
And I'm over here
Yeah,
like, this is extremely interesting and like crazy
yeah,
that this is like correlated. So definitely,
yeah,
I know
and it's
you've
like,
had the
and it's
same thoughts on
like
that.
even the video game terms thing, where
Yeah.
like we'll like both think of everything in like video game terms, and it just makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
Hmm. Like I'll think of chess terms, Fortnite terms.
Yeah, yeah, chess,
Just
yeah,
like,
like poker. It's like I
yeah.
don't know anything where it's like a game with like rules and stuff. It like it's
Hmm.
like just useful to think of like other stuff in those like terms.
Hmm. Like I'm even thinking about it right now. A thought came to mind, like fighting, for instance. If someone's very like aggressive and getting in your face, that's the same
Yeah.
thing as in chess when someone's like pressing you and like blitzing in
Oh
on you
yeah.
very
Yep.
fast.
Yeah.
So it's like it can literally correlate. And
Yeah.
like other people might not even think like that.
Yeah. And then also it's like stuff that's like it's like stuff that's easy for normal people is like hard for
Yeah.
us and stuff that's hard for normal people is like easy. It's like cuz
Yeah.
like I can do like math.
Hmm.
I can like look at like watch math videos, do calculus, whatever. And like other
Hmm.
people like struggling in class. But then like I try to go buy groceries or I have to like take my car into the shop and that's like, oh my God, I have to like that's like
Yeah.
so much to think about, you know?
Yeah. No, I literally have the same thing. Like I literally despise going to the store, going to get
Yeah.
food. Like I hate that kind of stuff. But then
Or
I'll
like
do some crazy
traveling.
ass training. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like I hate like going to the airport where it's
Hmm.
like, you know, you have
Holy
to
cow.
like pack everything in a suitcase, and then you have to like figure out when you need to be at the airport, and then you have like it's just
Yeah.
like so much, and it's like tiring for some reason.
It's like tiring because it's so boring or
Yeah,
something, almost. Like if our brain like perceives something as fun, even if it's extremely hard, like we can really focus
yeah,
on it.
yeah,
But if it's not like that, like we just
yeah.
don't even
It's
want to
that
do
like
it.
hyper focus, and it's
Yeah.
like I find it so interesting how our like injury stories are also very similar. Where it was both we had like a program, and
Hmm.
then we decided to like do more work, and then we ended up both getting like overtraining injuries.
Yeah. And like, yeah, at the time I was going to school in high school in my senior year, and I was working during the week and also 16 hours on the weekend, and then
Yeah,
training every day. So it was just absolutely like ridiculous amount of training.
yeah. So I think like that, like it's like being hypermobile is like where you're also like predisposed to have this sort of like addicted. I guess like you could almost call it, like an addictive like personality, where like
Yeah,
you basically get addicted to training, and then
yeah,
it's like being hypermobile. You're like you have more of an injury risk already, and
hmm,
then like also like overtraining on top of that. It's just like if you're not
hmm,
aware that you're hypermobile and like know to like stop, it's like I feel like a lot of us probably end up getting injured in like a similar way.
yeah. And I think it comes down to like our nervous system because it literally has to like think about um like holding our joints together is so
Yeah,
like on high alert that it makes our personality almost like we want to keep training. Like
yeah,
we want
exactly.
to keep going when like we almost have to do the opposite and be more smart
Yeah.
about our
And it's like,
training.
yeah, it's like you have to most people have to like we both like normal people and hypermobile people need
Hmm.
like a training plan or like a schedule, but it's like
Yeah.
for the opposite reasons. Because like normal people who are like they're like not motivated to train and stuff, they need a
Yeah.
schedule just to, like keep going to train. But it's
Hmm.
like we need a schedule to like stop us from training too much and
Yeah.
like to like get us to actually like recover and shit.
Yeah. Or I don't know if you had this, but like your like brain would almost just get kind of overwhelmed if you don't have like that structure.
Yeah,
You'll do hella, but there will be no like no training to it. So you just get overwhelmed, just be like, I'm just gonna grind this out and think I'm gonna
yeah,
get progress from it.
yeah. It's that sort of it's that sort of like hyper focus and then like burnout cycle. It's like where it's
Yeah.
like sometimes I'll like this is like because I used to be play like a shit ton of video games.
Yeah.
I could like play a game for like for like 12 hours in one day and then like
Yeah.
do that for like a few days straight and then like be like I'm so done with this game. This game sucks. Like I'm never
Yeah,
playing it
literally.
again.
Yeah, I feel like I would have the same thing. Not even because I didn't like the training, but just I'd just be so my body would just be so like cooked, and my nervous
Yeah,
system especially.
exactly.
Like I just want to go lay down for a whole day.
Yeah,
Like whereas other regular people, like you said, they like struggle to get the motivation to train,
yeah,
and maybe not some, but like for them it's a
yeah.
little
Obviously,
different.
yeah. I think I don't know. It's like really interesting how it's like we have this sort of divide in like medicine where it's like you
Yeah.
have physical health and mental health, but I think
Hmm.
it's like it's really like a lot closer than you think where it's like they're like connected.
Yeah, and I think the connector is the nervous system for
Yeah.
sure because it
'Cause like
connects. Yeah.
it's like the brain like our brains already have to think more to like not
Hmm.
hyperextend the joints. And then
Yeah.
that like affects how we think about everything else as well.
Hmm. Hmm. For sure. And I feel like even just like competition wise, like I know people are obviously nervous, especially about like fighting and stuff. But I feel like my brain would almost be like even more like kind of trip in, kind of send in adrenaline shocks at the wrong time
Yeah.
and stuff. And it just very different, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's like I feel like a lot of times I'll like be able to get a lot done off like pure like anxiety or like stress, but it's
Yeah,
like not sustainable long term. And where it's like
exactly.
because that's basically what got me through college was I would just like procrastinate hella
Hmm.
and then like do shit at the last minute and then it actually turns out to be like good, but I had to like stay up all night or something.
Hmm.
I think almost like now what I've been like doing, what I've been realizing is like it's like since our nervous systems are already have like more load on them, it's like
Hmm.
super important to like decrease like your sort of stimulus
Yeah.
more to like what I started doing, I stopped listening to music like in the car or like
I was
I
gonna
used to
talk
like just
about it.
like I used to like be fucking watching like a YouTube video or like a podcast or something. Like I had to have
Yeah.
audio in my ear like all the time or else
Hmm.
like I couldn't do stuff. But I think it's because I was in that sort of like stressed out state all the time where like
Yeah.
I needed to have like some dopamine in my brain to keep going. But
Hmm.
since I graduated, I've been able to reset and it's like less stressful. I
Yeah.
find that like I like to have like less stimulus. Like I like to have like less noises. Like even I started last week when I went to the store, I like wore earplugs going grocery shopping and then it was like a lot less tiring afterwards.
Yeah. Because it's just so like overrun our nervous
Yeah, 'cause, like
system.
your our nervous systems are already like overrun, overwhelmed compared to a normal one, thinking about
Hmm.
like the body and the joints. And it's like you
Hmm.
don't want to overwhelm it even more.
And I would say even as far as like the reps thing, like for us, like less reps almost might even be better. Because like
Yeah,
if you force like 100 reps, let's say, you're just gonna be completely like burnt out. Whereas a normal person, those 100 reps might be good, but for
yeah,
us, like 50 reps, but good reps and really focusing on it
yeah,
might
yeah,
actually ingrain more in our nervous system than just like
yeah.
burning it out.
Another thing I've been experimenting with that I think is like successful is like like shorter training sessions, but like more
Mhm.
frequent. So like instead
Yeah.
of training for like 2 hours straight one day, if you train like a little bit in the more, because basically the first thing I applied this to was when I learned how to juggle, because I would
Yeah.
just have the juggling balls in my house, and like basically
Hmm.
whenever I was bored, I would go juggle for like a few minutes, and I learned how to juggle in like a few days,
Yeah.
versus like if I had just like tried to juggle for like 2 hours straight, I don't think I would have learned that fast.
Yeah. Even if like you were doing it more frequently,
Yeah,
like at the start.
yeah. And then what were you gonna say about the music as well, or did you say it?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say like I feel like for me personally, like before a competition, like music or at least like music I normally listen to, like hype music, is like bad because it makes me too like adrenaline dump almost like
Yeah,
before the fight, like too alert. Like it brings my nervous system up when before competition, like we want our nervous systems even more to like be down. So
yeah,
I've always just done that where I don't listen to music before
yeah. I
my
think music
matches.
music is like is such a powerful tool where it's like you can basically
Hmm.
use it to regulate your nervous system. Like I know
Hmm.
like if I put on like a crazy like playlist, I'll like go harder in the gym. I think this
Yeah.
is it's like a scientifically studied thing as well.
Hmm.
Versus like if
Yeah,
I
and I
want it,
think like sorry.
and it's like different types of music
Yeah.
or like different types of playlists for like different types of training. Like if I'm just
Hmm.
doing like if I'm trying to go hard, like do bodybuilding, I'll have
Yeah.
like a certain type of playlist versus if I'm practicing like a skill, like if I was like juggling or doing some sort of skill training, I would have a
Hmm.
lot more like calming playlist for like focus.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like for the gym is definitely good, but I feel like my thought is just for hypermobile people, it can just be bad like on competition day
Oh
because
yeah, there's like
you're
too much
burning
going on.
energy. If it's not like very calming music, you're like burning energy before you even
Yeah.
get in the fight. And by the time you get in the fight, now you're just gonna be like your nervous system's just gonna
Oh
be
yeah. Yep.
done. So then it might even adrenaline dump more and make you more
Yeah.
tired. So it's just like it's kind of a ripple effect
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah. Because I guess like you have to be like your mind has to be. You can't just be running off pure adrenaline in a
Yeah,
fight. You have to be like calm. You have to like, or else you're basically
exactly.
gonna just like run in.
Yeah, and like lose your technique, lose everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's the same. It could be the same for other sports, like as well.
Yeah. I
Like
guess
a
it depends on
basketball
the
player.
sport. Yeah.
Yeah, like if a hypermobile basketball players listen to too much music before, they might burn a lot of their
Yeah.
energy before they even get on the court. But
Yeah. Or like, but I think it's definitely like if you talk about like Olympic weightlifting or like powerlifting, where
Yeah.
it's just like you're going up there, you're doing like
Mhm.
you're moving for like 3 seconds, and then
Yeah.
you're done. It's like you want to get
It
like
doesn't
as
matter.
hyped up as possible. It's
Yeah.
I'll say like like when I was at like a competition, I saw like the best lifter at the competition.
Yeah.
He had like an entire jar of like smelling salts, and
Yeah.
he sniffed it like 3 times before he went up. Like
Hmm. Yeah. And I'll say like it does help you for like those short burst
yeah,
times. Like when you have those that adrenaline dump from your nervous system. Like I've always won the first round when I've
yeah,
had that
oh yeah,
happen. But it's going in that like second, third round where I start feeling that fatigue
yeah, yeah,
a lot.
yeah. And then do you want to talk about proprioception and like
Sure,
some of
yeah.
the foot stuff?
Yeah.
So I
I
think
think you going on that first.
yeah, so it's like this is like my sort of theory, which is like
Yeah.
because I remember you also like related to this where it's like we don't have flat feet. It's just
Hmm.
that because like being hypermobile, your whole body is hypermobile. Even if
Yeah.
like only some of your joints you can do like crazy stuff with, it's
Hmm.
like the feet are also hypermobile where it's like they're just like they can just like collapse because
Collapse.
it's everything is more flexible. And
Yeah.
the foot muscles just need to be like super strong to
Hmm.
hold the foot up. And it's like since I imagine like we both like wore shoes a lot as kids.
Hmm.
It's like the foot didn't really learn, and also like the foot itself has a lot of like nerve endings on it, and it's like
Yeah.
wearing shoes let your feet get away with being collapsed because like the
Hmm.
shoe itself like holds is like provides like enough stability and cushion. Because like if
Yeah.
you tried to walk around barefoot with a collapsed foot, then like it would be extremely like uncomfortable because it's like
Yeah.
versus if you're wearing a shoe with a collapsed foot, it's fine because it's like cushioned.
Yeah. It's like it already has a built-in arch, like all
Yeah.
that crazy technology kind of stuff.
So like that's where I want to experiment with more is like trying to rebuild that foot
Hmm.
muscle connection. Because like I remember you said for your rehab, it's like switching on all these different muscles, and then
Yeah.
like during the rehab training itself, it's like you're contracting the muscle like 100%, and then you
Yeah.
notice like day to day life, like it used to be you were like walking around and the muscle was like 0% turned on when like just day to day. But then
Hmm.
after rehab, it's like the muscle was like 10% turned on day to day to give you that like
Yeah.
stability.
For sure. Like before I got injured, I even felt like that. I got just like it just almost is like collapse naturally.
Yeah,
Um, and so I feel like that's what almost got me injured was that deep spinal part kind of was
yeah,
taking that load that it shouldn't have been. Um, and I think that's why I had so much progress so fast in my rehab is because turning on those muscles allowed it. Where like when I'm in normal life now, I feel like I have like a 20% brace just
oh
walking
yeah,
around.
yeah,
Where it's not, I'm not having as much flare ups now because it's actually taking the load that it's like supposed
yeah,
to. Yeah,
yeah. Like
definitely.
that's what I think that's the key with like the foot too. It's like where if you like figure out how to actually get your brain to like contract the arch muscles like 100%,
Yeah.
then like in daily life, instead of being like completely flat, that muscle will be contracted like maybe 10 to 20%, and then your
Mhm.
foot is like a lot more stable. And then that just
Yeah.
like helps all the way up the body because the foot is like the foundation.
And like now that I think about it, because when I first started training, like a lot of boxing based stuff, we would always
Yeah,
kind of train just with our shoes on in the gym. And when I
yeah,
when I really started focusing on kickboxing and training no shoes, like
yeah,
I feel like I feel more stable to the ground and like I can move better.
yeah,
And it's obvious because shoes aren't on, but I think it could have something to do with that. On like it's literally making my glute contract
yeah.
better
Because
when your
like I think
actual
the foot
foot.
is like the foot has like it's like the foot has a ton of nerve endings in it, and it's like maybe
Yeah,
like normal people can get away with like wearing a shoe because they have the proprioception from
yeah,
their ligaments, but it's like for us, we already don't have that ligament proprioception.
yeah.
So we need like all the proprioception we can get. And the foot is like being barefoot is like a huge source of
Hmm.
proprioception.
It's like if you had a big boxing glove on all the time and
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
going
Yeah.
and trying to grab stuff, like you're not actually get in any muscle contraction of your like
Yeah, yeah,
fingers. Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
yeah. So I think that's I've already been like during my ankle rehab with the PT, I was
Mhm.
doing a lot of like balance board training, and that's something I'm definitely like going to continue doing
Yeah.
because the thing about balance training is it's like so easy to recover from because you're not like destroying your muscles, and it's like
It's almost more of a brain
yeah,
workout in a way.
and it's really interesting where it's like every time I do a new or like different balance exercise, like
Mhm.
I the PT has showed me enough different ones that
Mhm.
now I kind of just like make shit up and it like sort of works where it's like I'll just like have like a Bosu ball or some like balance board or like a foam pad or like do stuff and you can also like move your head different directions,
Yeah.
which like makes it harder or like do with your eyes closed. And it's
Mhm.
like from the first set to like the third or fourth set, if it's like a brand new exercise,
Yeah.
you'll like notice you get like way better on the last set compared to the first set because
Yeah.
it's like a brain
It's
thing.
quick to your nervous system to like
Yeah, it's not
work.
like strength where you have to like you
Mhm.
have to like train and then go like sleep and then you get stronger. It's
Mhm.
like immediate because it's like the nervous system.
And like even just thinking about that for me for kickboxing, like I feel like that'd be really important because when I'm throwing a kick, I'm obviously on one leg. So like if
Yeah,
I can get that leg really stable and able to like um know where it's at, I feel like that will
yeah,
give it even more power, even more like knockout potential. Like that will help.
yeah. What else? I feel like that's pretty
Should be
much
good.
everything for proprioception. It's
Yeah.
definitely I'm definitely gonna start experimenting with it more in my training and posting about
hmm
it.
Yeah, I want to start doing it too, like some of that foot
Yeah.
or especially the foot training stuff, especially because my right ankle it's not as
Oh
bad
yeah.
as yours was, but I definitely have that where like even
Yeah.
just the bone kind of pops out differently when I
Oh
rotate
yeah.
it. Like
Yep.
it's like going too far for sure.
Yeah. And then do you wanna let's go into sort of our personal goals and the mindset
Yeah.
aspect and probably wrap up after that.
hmm So you want to start with yours?
Yeah. All right. Do you want to talk about nutrition really quick?
Sure. Yeah. So I've just been kind of thinking about this. For hypermobile, like our muscles have to do the job for our lack of the ligaments. So like I feel like having a high protein diet is like going to be really
Yeah.
important to recover properly. And I don't know about you, but I drink electrolytes, salt based
Yeah. Yeah.
electrolytes to kind of
Yeah.
keep myself
That's really
very
interesting. It's like
hydrated.
this just made me think of like when I started adding like carb powder to my
Yeah,
like drinks that I drink like while I work out. Like
started
I
helping.
started like my endurance went way up, and I feel like it might be more than
hmm
it has a bigger effect than on like regular people because it's like we probably
Yeah,
also like I feel like hypermobile people in general. Like I was super skinny as a kid, and I like it
yeah,
was
me
so
too.
hard for me to gain weight. I feel like it's possible
hmm
like we just like burn more calories or something.
Yeah, may pop. Yeah, now that I think about it, maybe.
Yeah,
And
I'll
just
definitely have to
like
look into that more.
our ligaments are so like our arms even for instance are just gonna like be so much more elongated in like daily
Yeah,
life. So it's hard for our muscles to like just even just in normal life to be like contracting like other
yeah,
people. So that definitely checks out. I feel like. So
yeah.
it was
Oh, so,
personal goals.
yeah. Was your how about the you said you were talking about like magnesium as well, right?
Yeah, so I've been taking my back coach had recommended it for me because I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I've had like some just weird sleep stuff where I'll just
Yeah.
wake up. I'll just go through like a 5 day cycle where I'll just wake up at 5 a.m. like no matter what time I went to
Uh.
bed, and like it I think it's like a nervous system thing
Yeah.
where my nervous system like has a cortisol spike when I wake up and I just won't be able to go back to sleep. So I started taking magnesium glycinate and that has really like before I sleep about an hour,
Yeah.
and that really helps like deregulate my nervous system and get me in that like relaxed mode and like
Yeah.
actually able
Yeah.
to sleep through the night good.
Yeah. Another thing I'm sort of interested in is it's about like the gut microbiome, where it's like
hmm
the bacteria in your gut. and
Yeah.
it's almost like your gut is like your second sort of brain, and it
Yeah.
can have a big effect on your nervous system. And it's like
Yeah.
just definitely like super important to try to eat like whole foods, eat like foods with beneficial bacteria like
Hmm.
yogurt or like different like vegetables and stuff, and
Yeah.
avoiding like super processed foods and like
And like
artificial
a,
sweeteners.
a lot of like even high level athletes are, and this is especially prevalent, I feel like, in the basketball community,
Yeah.
where like these motherfuckers will get like McDonald's
Yeah.
before they go to practice or a game, and like
Yeah.
it doesn't really affect them too bad. Whereas I feel like for me, it would always like affect me a
Yeah.
lot
I
more,
like
where I'll
food
just feel
affects
like
me so
shit.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. And it could literally be due to the fact that like our muscles have to do everything. So if they're not
Yeah.
properly like have the right nutrients,
Yeah.
like it's not gonna your whole body's not gonna be working right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
So
electrolyte is what really like helped me out the most in my
yeah,
training.
definitely. Because I
Yeah.
also like I sweat a lot when I
Yeah, me
train. That's
too.
something I've noticed.
Like my armpits just sweat a lot naturally.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about like mindset or so your training mentality going forward and
Yeah.
advice.
So definitely like playing the long game. Like
Yeah.
playing the long game of like making my career long. So taking the even if I want to train, if I know I should rest, like
Mm,
definitely resting and just taking instead of going for the 20 reps on something I completely haven't done before, I'll do 5 reps and then build that up over
yeah.
time to get to 20 slowly. Instead of just like pushing through it
Yeah.
and stuff. I think it's going to be even more like important for us to actually like build the
Yeah.
neurological connection.
And it's like built. It's like we just that sort of like constantly like that like balls to the wall training where it's like or it's like super old school training where
Hmm.
you're doing like a ton of volume, and it's like you gotta like
Yeah,
train smart, find like the most effective way to like get the result you want without like putting your body through like a ton of punishment.
for sure. Yeah, definitely like, and then like
Yeah.
definitely communicating like with your coaches, you know?
Yeah. It's like telling coaches that, hey, I'm hypermobile.
Yeah. Like, hey, if they're doing a 3 mile run before practice, how about I just do the exercise bike or shadow box or,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know, do something else that's not gonna like kill your joints before the training session even like has started,
Yeah.
you know?
Because especially if you're doing like a 3 mile run, if you're like pre-fatiguing before
Hmm.
like that's like really bad for if you're hypermobile, where it's like you're
Hmm.
pre-fatiguing your muscles before you're doing
Yeah.
something where the muscles need to like create that stability, and
Hmm.
it's like that's just like leads to your joints taking more of the impact.
Hmm. And when like you have the mindset of like I just push through everything, like I'm him type of stuff, it
Yeah.
doesn't go good because you're gonna. I was sparring, I was like pushing through till the complete end, but like it didn't really work out for me in the end. You know, like I would have been
Yeah.
better off just resting
Yeah.
or modifying my training.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. My thing is like I don't know, there's a lot of like because I know this is something you also talked about. It's like a lot of the discourse online around hypermobility is like very
Yeah,
discouraging for if you're a hypermobile athlete. They'll just like basically say, "Oh, you should
you
just
need to
like
quit.
you need to quit, you need to give up. It's like too dangerous, or like you'll never like really achieve anything athletically." But it's
Yeah.
like with like the right training, and there's like a lot more like science and like
Hmm.
coming out around it now. I think it's like you can't just like give up just because you have like because everyone I feel like everyone has something. It's just like
Yeah,
hypermobility
is
is
our
like
thing.
just one limiting factor, but there's like
Mhm.
other people could be like have other like sorts of limiting factors as well.
Yeah. Hey, maybe their limiting factor is their mindset. You know, they
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
ability,
exactly.
they have the body to be able to like push
Yeah,
through as much as they want, which we want, and but they don't do it. So it's like
yeah. Like,
you just
I'm
have
sure
to.
we both know like people like from like childhood like school and stuff who like had like the build or like the body to be a really good athlete, but then they're just like lazy and
Yeah.
like or they like don't care about school, or, like they don't care
Hmm.
about like sports and
Yeah.
stuff.
Hmm. For sure.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like labeling yourself as hypermobile. It's like not about like giving yourself that label as like, oh, I can't do this. It's more
Hmm.
about it's like I saw this interview of Jalen Brunson's dad saying basically like, if a teacher gave you he told Jalen Brunson like if a teacher gave you the study guide to a test, you would like study the study guide. It's like if
Hmm.
you know you're hypermobile, like you once if you know you're hypermobile, you can like search up hypermobility and like
Yeah.
know how you need to train and
Hmm.
like what to do, how to like train in the best way versus
Yeah.
like so just giving yourself that label is about like having the study guide. It's not
Hmm.
about like limiting what you can do.
It's not being hypermobile that's gonna get you hurt. It's being hypermobile with the lack of like awareness and the proper
Yeah.
training that's gonna get you hurt,
Yep.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's like that's really my like one of my main goals with all this like content is to try to
Yeah.
get more awareness for hypermobility because what
Hmm.
happened with both of us is because there was no awareness, it's something
We
where we
got
had to
hurt.
train normally and get hurt and then
Hmm.
do a bunch of research ourselves to find out and
Yeah,
then
literally.
like now we actually know how to train versus ideally my hope like in the future is like every coach would
Hmm.
know what hypermobility is and know how to test for it because
Yeah.
there's already like a test that doctors do. It's like they'll like test how far your fingers go, how far like your thumb goes, like how
Hmm.
far your elbow goes and stuff, and it's like it takes like 5 minutes. Like if every coach could like do that and identify
Hmm.
hypermobility and then like tell the kid or like tell the parents, it's like they know like they have to train in a different way and still they could still be like a good athlete.
Yeah. And it's like it obviously comes with more injury risk, but with the right training, it almost can come with like extra potential in
Yeah,
some ways, like
exactly.
extra talent because of the way we're able to naturally like
Yeah,
move
because
our bodies.
like we can move in ways that like normal people can't.
Physically can't. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, definitely like the awareness.
yeah. So I guess all right, we're I'm not gonna do the thing like last time where it was like
Yeah.
awkward and I didn't know how to end it. So I'm just gonna say that that wraps up first episode of the Hypermobile Athlete podcast. And
More to
if you
come.
have yeah, if you have any if you have personal experiences with hypermobility, drop a comment, reach out to me on Instagram. Love to have you on the podcast. And Stassi, sure we'll have some more talks in the future as we both learn more about like how to train with hypermobility.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
yeah, look forward to future conversations.
Yeah, me too. Me
And
too.
if you know someone who's hypermobile, share this podcast with them.
It's good.
All right.
Alrighty, guys.
Fuck. Wait, what? All right. I, I guess we just end it like this, right? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Bye, guys.